Hello guys, welcome to Daddy Share Space and welcome to my channel. So today I'm coming to you with an unboxing of the Milwaukee Packout Dolly. So on day one that I went to pick and pull, I took the rolling box base, one drawer box, I believe it was the 3-drawer, and also my Milwaukee backpack and Milwaukee tote. Now, although that was effective, I felt like I could do a little bit better. So the next day I went out, I took the Milwaukee rolling box base, I took the 3-drawer Packout, and also the 2-drawer Packout. And what that enabled me the ability to do was I was able to keep all of my tools contained. Now the downfall was the fact that I had no access to the tools in the rolling box base unless I pulled the other 2 drawer boxes off of the rolling box base, which is what I did. And I used it as a stool during my work at pick and pull. Now here you can see we've got the Milwaukee Packout Dolly. This is the presentation. If you look to the far right there, you can see that red piece of plastic. That is not a good sign when you unbox something brand new and you see a piece of broken plastic sitting on top of the packaging. So let's go ahead and proceed with this unboxing. So let's go ahead and pull the Dolly out and take a look at what it looks like. As you can see, you've got some literature kind of hanging off of the Dolly. And then moving ahead, let's take a closer look. You can see the plate that the Packouts fit onto there in the front. And then taking a closer look at the literature here. So it's a stack or hang setup, 400-pound capacity, 10-inch run flat tires, 2-wheel cart. And if you look at it, it says most versatile, most durable, and it was made in the USA. I don't know if I would have been proud about that once you get a closer look at this thing. So if you look at the frame here, the sides, the back, all of this is 100% plastic. The arm bar or the handle is metal. The actual axle is metal, and the plate that you put the Packouts on is metal, but the rest, the body going from the handle down to the base, it's I-frame type plastic, which is very discouraging. Now you see, I mean, obviously this is an engineering, let's call it marvel, if you will, in quotations, because it holds together and they manufacture this device to be able to handle 400 pounds. However, upon closer inspection of the actual Dolly itself, you can see that they use minimal materials in making this Dolly. Now it rolls pretty smoothly. The wheels in the back are kind of close together, so I understand what people say about this Dolly possibly tipping over. You can see a little bit of extra storage in the back for like levels and stuff like that. At best, I would call this a lightweight Dolly. You can see there, these shelves that I'm touching, they're all plastic. So both the horizontal and the vertical support, the main parts of this Dolly are plastic, which it's kind of crazy, to be quite honest. You see these red plastic clips. This is where, that's one of the clips that actually broke off in the box. I don't know how it broke off and actually popped up on top, but right here you can see a closer look at what is actually broken. So again, you could just see that the workmanship and the quality, it just isn't there. This I-frame and broken plastic clips, this thing gives me no confidence that it will hold up over a long period of time, which is highly unfortunate. Now that being said, we unboxed it, we have it out. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at it. Now here you've got the plate. It locks down once you fold it down. And as I was tinkering with this, I was trying to figure out, okay, how do you get the plate to fold back up? I know I read a comment that someone said that the plate does not stay up. Now, right down there where I'm reaching, there's a red lever that you lift, and that gives you the ability to fold the plate down. However, you have to lift it on both sides. So if you look here, I'm actually reaching across, grabbing both of the clips, and then I'm going to use my knee to kind of fold the base up. Now I don't know if that's by design or if there was a lever that moves both of those red clips in unison to make that a little bit more of a functional process, but from what I saw, it just, and those clips are plastic, by the way, as well. So like I said, this thing is like, it seems to be like 70 to 80% plastic, if you will. Again, only the handle and that metal plate on the bottom. You've got the metal crossbar. The rest of this thing is just, it's a Lego toy for the most part. And I mean, not trying to be disrespectful, just, offering a little bit of humor here. But for $229, coming up to around $250 with tax, yeah, I don't see it. I honestly don't see it. This was very disappointing for me because I really wanted it to be a better solution for going to places like Pick and Pull, which would have given me the ability to access all of my tools like you would use on a auto mechanic, kind of like those chest type toolboxes where you could pull out all the drawers and get access to your tools. And then adding that to a dolly functionality, being able to roll it out to Pick and Pull would have been great. But of course, that was not the outcome. Now, as you can see here, I'm pulling off all of my other pack outs so that we can kind of get this thing loaded up and see what it looks like, so you can kind of get an idea for the type of functionality that I was looking for when I bought it. In theory, it would have been awesome. It would have been absolutely awesome. As you can see here, I'm putting the 2-drawer pack out on the bottom. That would have housed like my ratchets, my impact guns, all of that type of stuff, maybe batteries, things that require a little bit more depth. Then I would go ahead and put on the 3-drawer box, which gives me another large box for any bigger items, and then 2 thinner drawers for things like box wrenches, pliers, screwdrivers, anything smaller that I don't want to have to dig down into a drawer to find. And then finally, I top it off with the 4-drawer thin drawer box. And that's just a lot of access to tools right there. It's super convenient. Now, I would have loved if this thing came with pneumatic tires, because pneumatic tires will do a lot better on gravel, even though you have to manage and maintain those tires. And again, you can see in the back there how the wheels are a little bit close together. So I can see how people may have had some tipping issues with this particular setup. That being said, it doesn't feel any more sturdy or robust than using the rolling box base. Simply, maybe it's all in my mind, but knowing that the main frame of the dolly is plastic, that I-frame type molded plastic, it just doesn't give me a lot of confidence that this particular dolly is going to hold up over time. I could see any kind of shearing force to the side could probably snap it in half. And then also too, the way that it fastens on the back, even if you could clip something to the back, my concern would be even the cross members are plastic. So, as I got a closer look at this dolly, I was really disappointed because I felt strongly that I don't typically buy stuff and take it back to the store. But in this case, I couldn't justify even taking this thing to Pick and Pull to test it out. Now, here's a side-by-side comparison. You can see the original Packout setup, which is a nightmare to get access to, versus having the drawer system, which is something they should have had. And you can see here, just great access to all of your tools. Excellent concept of having it on a rolling dolly and having this be able to come apart so that it can be lighter in its individual components. That being said, they did not stick the landing with this one, in my honest opinion. I'm looking in here because my drawer acting a little bit kind of like there's something stuck in there, but regardless. And you see I have the actual worktop top on there as well. Now, as I said, tipping it back, rolling it about, it's fine. You get a closer look at the back, even there where I put my foot. Think about that. If that was really loaded down, that plastic could just snap off. And you just don't have a lot of metal support. This thing should have way more metal on the dolly itself. So unfortunately, the theory was just that, a theory. It does not have the capacity to do what I would hope it would do. And even if I kept it, which I did consider, if this was different economic times, what I would have done is I would have kept this dolly and I would have removed that base, the Packout base, which is metal, and I would have found a way to either install it onto a already metal dolly. I have one at home, or I would have figured out a way to re-engineer the middle part of this dolly to make it metal, so that I wouldn't have to worry about it, giving up the ghost on me prematurely. So In a rare video, you will see me go ahead, do an unboxing and an overview, which is what we're doing here. But then now what we're going to go ahead and do is a reboxing, because this thing is going straight back to the store. It is not worth, in my opinion, the $229 asking price. In my opinion, I think this is one of the reasons why it's not typically in stores. I had to order it online and have it shipped, is because if you get a good close look at that, the actual Dolly, you know, I think a lot of people that bought this, they're really strong Milwaukee fanboys, and essentially, you know, sometimes you could talk yourself into anything. This thing does not seem like, I do believe it's engineered to handle the 400-pound capacity, but it's not durable, you know, long term. You could feel it. If you buy it for yourself and have it in your hand, you will know that this thing is not built to last. Anyways, guys, I want to thank you for taking time to watch the video, and I'll see you in my next one. Take care.